So I actually wanted to start the show saying how cool it is that we have some greenness, but by the time I actually started the show, this hourly chart, hourly bubbles became completely red, and here we've got the daily a little bit on green. But what, you know, I went long yesterday, and I said that I'm actually long in, and Ren didn't understand, and you know, this is basically why I went long, because I'm up 270% of this trade. And I do have the long printing, but at the same time, I do have this cheeky hedge short placed here that I actually told you about in the community, which is completely free, link in the description. Now, the question really is, should you trust the pump that is happening right now, meaning this pump, which is sustainable? I mean, it's a 5% bump. This is the short I've taken, and this is the long on the bottom on Solana. So is this actually sustainable? Can we actually go with this, or this is going to die down? And you know, what am I actually doing? That's what we're going to talk about today. If you're here in the chat, let me know. Let it roll in. I think I have this set on top chat, not live chat, but whatever. We'll leave it at that now. Live in 5 minutes. So usually the show starts at 45. At 45, okay? But if you're not in the community, I always post it, so you know, but it starts at 45. Let's go, Fefe Army, smash those likes. What's happening? Finally started without us, lol. I don't know what that means. Hola from my bay. What's happening? What's happening? Lots of love for Fefe. Thank you. Fake out. We don't trust pump. We trust Fefe. Thank you. Hybrid from Australia. Sufficient wreck. Can we turn easy mode on yet? Not yet. Not yet. But soon, soon. Guys, smash the like button. Like the show. And let's go. One of the most important things that I always say, if you've been watching these daily live shows, is that I do have a trading channel. It's called the 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗏. If you go at the bottom here in the rewatching, you will be able to see it here, and you can just simply subscribe there as well. And then I drop these daily updates, like 5 to 10 minutes a day, and then I keep you posted in the community. You find all this in the description. And on today's daily update, I said that we are going to come down a little bit for the 50% retrace, and then we're going to have a bounce from there. I believe, at least. Nothing is financial advice, of course. But we're going to come down and we are going to have a bounce, and this is why I am not closing my long position that I had opened basically from the very bottom, as you see. But I also said that I'm actually taking a short position. I said I feel we will close above the hourly, but rather be safe than sorry, I took a hedge short. I said this in the community yesterday. You can see it here. This is the actual trade. And if you look at Bitcoin, this is the actual trade that I've been taking. And so it can be a little bit confusing, like what is actually happening. So let's talk about it. Number one, super important, again, in the daily update, on the 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗏, I said that the crypto bottom is basically confirmed because we do have a 4-point structure. And even here yesterday, I explained, we have a 4-point structure that confirms kind of the reversal from the weekly demand zone. And because we came into this order block, this supply zone, this here is a very big hourly supply zone because you see this massive sell pressure coming from there. And I was saying, like, because we have a massive sell pressure coming in, this is a very important supply zone, which usually results in rejection. But, and this is the big but, the rejection didn't come like this, or this, or this. It came very slowly, to the extent that there was no 15-minute, and even, I think even 5-minute structure break here. There is no 5-minute structure break here. I mean, you could consider this. You could consider this a 5-minute structure break. But if you look at the 15, there is basically no break here. And it's not rejecting crazy. It's coming down on an elevator up, and it's coming down on a staircase. Now, every time when this happens, you want to be on the elevator. I say that after taking a short, but that's a head short. So ultimately, what I think is going to happen is that we need to come. This is what I drafted here. You know, this is basically what I drafted on the live here on today's 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗏 update. But in reality, what you gotta see is just come lower here, potentially tap onto this OB, which is also very important. Also, the 50% level on this leg, meaning it's a perfect reversal area. Okay. So do you believe that we're going to come into that, potentially on New York Open? We still have a few hours until then. But I do believe that we're going to drop down here. That's like 1%, 2%, possibly a little more on all these shit coins. And then I do think that the continuation will happen, and it will be, I believe it will happen from here. It can happen all the way down here. So I think this bottom holds, but I would think that we just come down here and then go from here. And if that happens, that will be confirmed with at least a 5-minute market structure shift to higher highs, you see here as well. Something very, very similar. And that could be the continuation of the trend, which would be pretty amazing. And what I'm expecting is that I think we are going to close above here, and that would confirm the actual continuation. Now, why do I bet against keeping my 30x leverage long, as you see here? Why do I bet against the market structure? Fefe, you should not do that. And that's kind of accurate. I should probably not do that. But reversals happen. Like, keep in mind that reversals do happen. So even though the market structure is down, at some point the market reverses. And I do believe that right now, if you look at the weekly chart and you say, hey, we came back down to the weekly OB. From there, we showed a 15-minute market structure shift, which you see here. Then we had a 4-point of structure. I explained all this. By the way, guys, again, 100x Club, I explained all this in these short updates. If you don't want to watch these live, some people like the live shows, some people like the daily updates. So it's right here on the bottom. Here, you can just scroll down and you will see it here, and just subscribe and you'll see it there. But 4-point of structure and then a push without a retrace and then a slow grind down. I mean, this seems like a reversal to me. This seems like a potential reversal to me. The worst thing that can happen is that we're going to have a final push here to close this. We don't close above the hourly and come lower, and then I'm just going to update you in the community and let you know that I'm closing my longs. But until then, I think this is a great opportunity to actually take a long position because, again, here, it's a clear rejection. Look at this. High, clear rejection, bam. Here, push, clear rejection. It's not like maybe bleeding through some. It's like a clear freaking rejection. Here as well, look at this. Clear freaking rejection. Here as well, clear freaking rejection. Like, it's not here. You look at this. So the even though this was climbing up to the same hourly low, which was shorted, here you see a clear rejection. Like, it's a clear rejection. We don't have that now. We don't have even the market structure to confirm this way. So that means that we would need to create, like, if this would pump now and then pull back, that would be a clear rejection. But now we don't have that, therefore I'm not concerned about it. So the second question, the $1 million question, why did I open a short position then? It is because I want to be hedged short. I also have other accounts, and on other accounts I'm long Bitcoin, heavy long Bitcoin, and I just want to make sure that I do have some hedging, and this is why I opened this hedge position here as well, and also because of the so long. So will I close this? Yeah, I might actually close it now, to be honest. Like, I think once we hit the 50% on the total, once we come down here, I'm going to close it. So it's another 0.5%, or we close above there. That's the two ways. Like, if we close above here, I am going to close it. If we come all the way down here, I am potentially going to close it. I'm going to, again, update you. I always say it's super important that you go and join the community and you watch the 100x Club and you watch this as well. So, like, 100x Club is 10 minutes a day. If that's all you have, do that. If you want more of a chatting community, whatever, you can do this. But you can just scroll down here and you can see the 100x Club. You can see the community here, which is completely free, and join in there. So ultimately, I do have my shorts open. I do have my long open. And we'll see what happens. I actually have a bunch of cool, interesting data why this could Bitcoin actually drop every time this happens. It drops 60%. And I do have some thoughts on the stock market and whatnot. So that's what we're going to talk about in a bit. I just want to check in here with the comments. What's happening with everybody? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I'm sufficiently right. Can return easy mode? No. From Nigeria. What's up? Does anyone think the gambling coins will turn around? No. Trump overload his speech today? Yes. Are you expert on calling reversals? Thank you. Love from Australia. Good. Aussie. My head short is printing as well. I'm happy. Yes, what's the weekly? I miss Cuz. Cuz is not here. He's you know, we went for 6 weeks holiday. And Cuz was like, nah, I'm gonna take another week. And I'm like, who is the KOL, bro? But he's not here. He's coming back. I think tomorrow or maybe Monday he's coming back. What about Zcash? What about it? I think it's a new... I mean, honestly, there is a fucking coin that no one cared about for what? For 10 years? And now everybody's like, Zcash. Zcash is great. I'm not saying it's not great. I'm just saying, like, all these obnoxious calls of, yeah, Zcash for $10,000. Maybe, but, I mean, come on, man. Like, seriously. I prefer without background music. Motivational, Leon, I turn it off for you. Soul entry epic. I'm so happy. When deploy dry powder? Not on a spot. I'm not deploying for a long time. Love from Singapore. Are you 100% sure? 4%. Bro, this is the market. Like, am I 100% sure? What am I, a wizard? No, I just have thoughts. Thoughts on Zcash just said. Very scars, we missed him also. He just got back today. Is the time to vacation? Yes. Morning, Fefe. When Marbella? I don't know. I'm going to Lisbon soon. I'm going to next week. I'm going to Lisbon. We want to meet Cuz when he's back. Entered a Zcash short. Okay. Please look when convenient. Okay. So let's go. Let's jump in here. I wanted to talk about a couple of things. One of the things I wanted to tell you is that this period in the market is going to be quite rough. And I think that we will see exactly what players are great, what players are not. And I'm honored to be working with OKX. They are partners on the channel here. I would say one of the best, most trusted exchanges, in my opinion. They are KYC, so you have to KYC. It's not going to be non-KYC, you know, all that degen shit, which is awesome on one extent. But they are KYC, they are audited by a third party, they are title sponsor for many things, including Formula One, the McLaren team. They are one of the most compliant, if not the most compliant exchange with all the licenses you need, MiCA license, whatever. So if you want a real trusted exchange, whether that's for your business or you want it for your personal investments, you can stake coins, you can keep them safe. I do believe OKX is a great option for you. I love the people there, they are hustlers, and they've built this incredible platform from basically nothing. They do have the Web3 arm integrated, the web wallet as well on the phone. It's pretty amazing, so go and check them out. There's a link in the description. And again, I of course appreciate OKX being here. I genuinely think you need to really reconsider who you're going with, especially if the market is going into this carnage that I think it is. Talking about the carnage, let's talk Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, every time it dropped the 60-week simple moving average, has dropped 60%, okay? Now, before anybody starts clipping this or whatever, I am not thinking Bitcoin is going to drop 60%, okay? I'm not thinking Bitcoin is dropping 60%. It's the greatest technology our country has. And we're gonna make sure that it doesn't happen. Tremendous amount of value. So, but I was like, no. So I had to check. But in reality, yes. So if you look at Bitcoin here, and you look at the 60-week, 50 simple moving average. So anybody who doesn't understand what moving averages are, super simple put, if you put a 50 moving average, shows you the average price in the past 50 days. And then it dots it every single day, and then you get this beautiful little line here, okay? So the past 50 days, for example, and today, the past 50 days, the price was 112,973, whatever that is, okay? So every single time, you can look back here in this picture, every single time Bitcoin dipped below and closed below on the 50-day moving average, there was a 60% drop. So it's actually, what is it? Is it saying the weekly? Weekly! Let's look at the weekly chart. Let's go, my Slavic brothers. So let me just look at something. Bitcoin, USD, Bitstamp, weekly. Okay, let's go. So he's saying that every time it dropped below. So here it dropped below, and then there was, yeah, there was about a 60% here. Here there was no close below, no close below. Here there was a close below. Yeah, about a 60% drop. Here there was a close below. Hold the fuck up. I actually didn't check this. I only checked the daily. Hold on, everybody. I might need to put in a snooze for that. 60? 60? No. 60? No. Oh my God. And I'm calling for the bear market, and I'm shocked at this. I mean, today's close, needless to say, is very important. I mean, this week's close, holy shit. Holy shit, this is actually quite bad. Anyway, I don't think it will drop 60%. Adoption happened, whatever, the drops became smaller and smaller, but this is actually pretty screwed. I mean, 60% would be way below. No, that's not happening. Even though I'm a bear now, that's not happening. We're not going like 50K. I mean, if we are, I'm selling my mom's house. Like, I'm selling everything, you know what I mean? Anyway, that looks pretty bad. But what I wanted to say as well, let's see what happened here. Close below, and then 2 more bearish. Okay, so anyway, so there's a lot of discussion, and this does not look good. If anybody's wondering, it does not look good. I actually checked this on the daily, and on the daily is the same thing. Like there's a close below here, bam, 25%. Close below here, about. I mean, I would say I would include. Oh, but that was an all-time high. Okay, that was like 7%. Close below here, then 12, 15%. So close below here, ultimately down like 20%. Close below here is a fake out, only down 10%. So, I mean. We're down about 15% already. So anyway, so that's not good. But there's a bunch of discussion on this whole, is the top in or not, or what, or how. And I just want to say, if you are not familiar with who I am, I actually made this post, and I'm going to debate with Ren. We're kind of taking shots at each other. Like, you know, Ren was telling me yesterday that he doesn't know. He's confused. How can I be long and short? How can I be long and short leverage? And I just posted this today. I'm like, I'm up 270% on this trade. Like, I hope it's clearer now. And then he said, oh, you're trading 30x leverage. We're not the same. And then I said, yeah, we're definitely not. I don't like holding coins down 40% drawdown in a month. We are going to debate this out. So this is going to be a very interesting debate. It is going to happen on the 100x Club. So you got to subscribe to the 100x Club as well. If you go down here on this show, you'll be able to see it here. Just click on there and subscribe. It's going to be on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. UTC. So it's gonna be amazing. But I want to talk about a couple. Here you see, bam. So you go down here and then you will be seeing it here. Now I want to talk about a couple of things as well when it comes to the stock market. Officially, it's now the longest U.S. government shutdown in history, 36 days and counting. Meanwhile, about 30% of all Bitcoin is held at a loss. And then this guy says, often marked local bottoms. But what is interesting is that there is a chart here. There is a, oh, I actually didn't bring this here. Okay, that's not the best. There was a chart here. Okay, anyway, we're not gonna see it, but there was a chart here that actually showed the entire year, or entire from 2017. The problem is that the unrealized losses that people hold, the supply, how big percent of the supply is actually held at a loss, meaning everybody who bought Bitcoin, now 30% of those people are not probably, but looks like they are on the water. This does not mark the bottom. Like, short, for a short period of time, it might, but this is exactly how massive drawdowns and bear markets start. If you look at this is exactly how that happens. So, to spice things up a little bit, Trump comes in and he says the stock market, it will reach more highs. We've seen this several times this year. It's tremendous amount of strength in the stock market. So we'll see that. But all that, well, there is a proper scare when it comes to recession, when it comes to a potential nuke on the stock market, correction. The stock market is going up and up and up and up and up. And there is this interview which I really want you to go and see.
The retail people
from CNBC. And
so,
Palantir's CEO
in fairness,
comes in here.
That's what I wanted to ask you about.
And he's basically being asked about Michael Burry, the guy who predicted 2008, is shorting this company with $1 billion. It's a big American company. And he's shorting this company with $1 billion, okay? 912 million. And the CEO is being asked about this. And the reason why I bring this here, because I watched this interview and it made me think like, holy shit, there is an actual problem in the system. Like, we might wake up, and I'm not spreading FUD, I'm just sharing with you what I think. We might wake up tomorrow being like, you know, everything down, like massively down. And this guy just made it more...
Because there is a misunderstanding, clearly...
More clear.
Of course I'm not going to vote for that. But instead they asked...
So this is how this guy... This is like a multi-billion dollar company. And this guy, the way he's just trying to be like, I'm going to be, and how can you short us? See, it screams scarce.
Is the person persuasive or are they right? And across all sorts of movements, political, I mean, you see this on the regressive part of the Democratic Party. We're about to probably have a complete disaster. I was born in New York. But if you actually said, do these things actually work? Everyone's like, of course I'm not going to vote for that. But instead they ask, does it work in theory? The theoreticians, you have to ask, how often have you been right? And Palantir is about pragmatic decisions that create unfair advantages.
Look at
for
this
America
guy.
and
If
its
he was
allies.
in the
And
market
on
trying to
that,
sell you a
we've been
fucking orange.
right for almost 20 years on all major decisions. And
He's
I
looking
believe we'll
into
be
the
right
camera,
going
bro.
forward. Now, you could argue, I don't know, like they're constantly like, but they thought Palantir was overvalued at 10. They thought it was overvalued at 20. I'm not even here saying what the valuation is. I'm just saying find a company in the world that has a rule of 114, that has U.S. commercial growing at 121%, that aggregate growth in the U.S. is 77%, that has throwing off free cash flow in a way that's anomalous, and that is fully aligned with our customers. And you figure out the value, but they're in the business of being skeptical and being wrong, and we're in the business of giving an unfair advantage to American workers, American warfighters, and our investors.
Being short.
This guy is so, and this is the CEO of this company, one of the largest US companies on the planet. And he's being so defensive. He's being like, oh, we're in the business of helping the industry, and these people are in the business of being wrong. And take a fucking chill pill, bro. Like you can't act like this. And then he goes on and on and on. And I think it's worth actually looking this up. It's
for the
wild.
expert that doesn't need it, the short seller that has some ridiculous reason for doing something against. I mean, most of GDP growth in this country is because of AI. The real question is, how do we grow that and expose workers? What is the worker available GDP? That's the question for our society. Instead of wrong.
The AI space is printing money.
Just obvious. And
Look, this is the other one. Like, oh my god, I don't know if you've seen, like, you know, when you see people that take like Adderall or whatever, and they can't sit at one, and they do this, you know, they do something like when you're like so fucking anxious that you just sit like this. Look at this guy.
A lot of talk from the likes of a Michael Burry, but more broadly about whether we're in an AI bubble, whether the economics make sense. Clearly, in the context of Palantir, they do make sense insofar as you're printing money over there. Not everybody in the AI space is printing money in the same way.
It's actually pretty crazy. Anyway, you know, Nvidia being valued at like $5 trillion, these companies doing crazy shit, and the stock market is at all-time highs, while liquidity is basically sitting on the sideline waiting for JP to leave the house. It's actually very, very, very crazy. And I'm not going against these guys. I'm not saying I hate Alex. I'm not hating Alex. I'm just saying, like, this guy is the CEO of Palantir. Like, you cannot do this. You cannot do this. And the fact that you do this, that actually shows me that there is fundamentally something wrong and broken that you want to hide. Okay? So anyway, what is interesting, couple of things. Michael Burry is actually short this company, $1 billion, $912 million. And there is, you know, again, rumors going about, is it AI in a bubble and not and whatever. Another company that is actually interesting is OpenAI. So OpenAI makes about $13 billion in revenue, $15 billion. So let's double that, maybe $30 billion. And they're IPOing, going public at $1 trillion with a T. What? And they're not only doing that, they're trying to ask the government to actually, it says here, provide a loan, a guarantee for with a guarantee for their advancement. It's actually, it is crazy. And I had a tweet not so long ago, and I said these are the headlines that I just think that we're gonna look back and think like, how did we believe this is sustainable? I said this. These are the headlines we'll look back at and think how on earth we thought this was sustainable. Stock open at fresh records, and Nvidia hits $5 trillion valuation. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm not spreading FUD. You do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying, like, I think it's a proper possibility that the top is actually in. And that we are going to go into a little bit of a bearishness here for the next 6 to 8 months. 6 to 8 months, looking at 6 to 8 months correction, bear market, whatever you want to call it, is absolutely normal in the stock market. 8 months, and because I don't think that we're going to decouple that much in terms of as an asset class when it comes to risk on assets, I think 6 to 8 months is absolutely reasonable for us to be in a so to say bear market. Now, one thing I wanted to also talk about before we wrap this up is this. Jason Pizzino says, would be cool, Jason, let's do a show together. But he says, I've been discussing the possibility of the top being in for Bitcoin for weeks now. Still hold some Bitcoin, but better and less risky, and opportunities are emerging elsewhere. I see it in the strength and weakness when comparing assets. But what he says, So, no need to get scared, just be prepared. Study, take notes, and take action when necessary. This is what we do over at the 100x Club in here. Those who don't, listen to this, those who don't will sit and hold and criticize anyone who takes action. That's normal behavior, don't be normal. So I tag Ran, don't be normal, and I tell you the same, do not be normal. Do not sit around, hold stuff that might go down 70 to 80%. I'm not saying panic out of the market. I'm saying follow every single step on the market that happens. If we see a blow up top, if we see a retrace, de-risk. I told you on the 18th, on the show on the 100x Club, I told you loud and clear that I'm selling 50% of my spot bags. I told you that I sold all my risky plays. The market is down. If you look at it on the month, the market is down. The market is down on the month. You know, okay, don't look at this Dino privacy coin narrative, but look at Sui 45, MNT 46, Jupiter 25, IMAX 44, Pengu 55, WorldCoin 44, Crow, the next big thing with Trump 40%, Pub 40%, Render 45%, OKB, which I think is amazing. Amazing. OKX token. I'm going to load up on this token because I believe that all the exchange is going to do IPO next year, and I think one of the best plays is going to be buying exchange tokens. Down 50%. You can tell me that I'm trading and whatever, but I'm not down 50% on all these because I sold them. So, am I gonna buy back? Yes, but you need to buy at the right time, with the right manner, and whatnot. So guys, I think this is it. Let's do a little bit of Q&A here at the end. If you have any questions, this is the place where we can do questions, and on the 100x Club, I literally just give you 5-10 minutes. If you can watch only that, or if you can watch only this, it's your call. I'd be spoken to hold that shit. I'll be spooked to hold that shit. All bubbles pop. Makes sense. The economy is not the stock market. Top is definitely in. I have coins already down 70%, unfortunately. You know what? I'll tell you one thing though. I remember, and this is very, very serious shit, okay? I'm gonna drop a video on this, full video on this later, but very serious shit. I remember in 2022, I had $1.7 million. I didn't sell. The next morning I woke up, I only had 1.4. The 3 days after, I woke up, I only had $1 million was life-changing money for me. And I didn't sell. Why? Because I was down 50%. And then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, a month later, whatever, zero. Brother, zero. So much so that I was sued for $250,000. I lost everything in 2017. You can mock me all you want, but I'm out and already sold 50% of my bags 50% higher. Actually 100% higher because it's a 50% drop. Esther is down 47%. I sold it. I sold Esther because I thought it was a risky play. It's down 50%. All I'm saying, consider the possibility of an actual bear market or a correction that goes 7, 8, and 90%. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate every single one of you. This is going to be the daily update from the 100x Club now. If you want it in summarized, short form, whatever, go and check this out. Click here to subscribe. Check the links in the description. Check out OKX. I really, really, really think they're awesome. And come back for another one tomorrow. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.